We're very reactive, and so we have to cultivate non-reactivity, which is an art form so that we're not triggered and that we learn what our triggers are. So observing our thoughts, you sit there and, Dan Harris has that beautiful quote. He says, meditation's like being kidnapped by the most boring person on earth. Because if you sit there for half an hour in the morning, you realize that your mind has a default mechanism. Mine's planning. And Sharon Salzberg says, my mind plans because it makes me feel safe. And maybe it's a Jewish thing, I don't know. But like planning, like, okay, I have this list and I'm gonna do this at 8 o'clock and this happens tomorrow morning. And I'm making my universe orderly. So I'm not gonna give myself my own diagnosis, but I think I planned because there was a part of my life where I was not in control. And my mind said, I'm never gonna let that happen again. So my mind plans. Interestingly, so now when I have people come into my office and they have OCD, I'll sit them down and I'll do a little meditation and I'll say, okay, this behavior that you're now calling, whatever you're calling, at some point in time, it was a solution to a problem. For your 7-year-old mind or your 9-year-old mind or your 10-year-old mind thought like, oh, if I just binge and purge, then X will happen, I solve the problem. Now you're 35, you're binging and purging, you're unhealthy. Let's look at what your mind was trying to solve then. For me, the narrative that I've constructed is, when I was in traction, it was kind of humiliating to have somebody do the bedpan and all these things. And my mind said, I'm going to never let that happen again, so I'll create order in my life by making lists and planning and doing these things. And then when I'm sitting there meditating and I catch myself and and it's insane. You just realize that like this is like the world's going to show up the way it's going to show up no matter what I plan. Right? So, but my mind feels this like sense of ease by having these like, okay, well, if this happens, that'll happen, and then I'll do this, and then I'll say this, and I have like these fictitious conversations, and then I look at myself having these conversations that are never going to take place. I'm like, this is insane. Why don't you just go meditate? It's going to be a lot more pleasing. And then I get back to the meditation. And so for me, we're cultivating non-reactivity because we have this default mechanism, this way of being in the world. We're always preparing for things and we're trying to do things and whatnot. And we just have to be able to be in the present moment as our highest self, without the influences from our society and all these crazy desires that we think will make us happy if we attain, and just
beautiful.